Hi, and welcome back to Art Online with Ms. Haynes. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Let's get started with some art right now.
Today, we'll be celebrating Frida Kahlo and how unique she was. We know that to be unique means to be special in a different way, and it makes us stand out. Frida Kahlo was special in many ways, but today we will focus on the beautiful flowers that she wore in her head that symbolizes growth and her eye-catching unibrow. Let's get started. First, I measure the bottom of my paper. I want to make sure that I go up far enough so I have space to do the bottom of her head. And then I am going to start my curved line. I'm going down on both sides, and already we have the top of her head. From there, I'm going to start working on her hairline, doing more curved lines, this time going the opposite way. Ta-da! And then I'm going to go ahead and add the top of her ears for a little extra spice. Now I'm going to go in and do more curved lines. This is also a good project to teach about lines because we're going to use a lot of different lines in this project to create Frida Kahlo. Now I'm measuring 3 finger lengths up because that's where I want to start her headpiece. Or you can even make this her braid because sometimes she'll wear a braid around her head before the flowers, or she'll wear like a nice headpiece, almost like a headband. Now I'm going to begin to draw a circle for the first flower, and I'm starting it close to the middle. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be unique to you in the way you draw. And now I'm going to draw a semicircle. You can also talk about overlapping because we want the flowers to look like they're overlapping one another on the top of her head. So I start off with 3, and then I'm going to start to do some more curved lines, almost like loops around my first circle to create my flower petals. And as you can see, it's already starting to overlap. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to work on my other flowers. This time I'm going to be a little more loose with it, add some more zest. I'm just doing more of a wavy motion for the flower petals. Wow, and we already got 3 flowers on top of her head. We're going to exaggerate how many flowers she wore because it's art, right? We can get creative. So I'm going to add another flower on top of her head. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did at the bottom. Going back in now, and I'm adding my loops for my petals. And then I'm going to make the other lines more wavy like I did below. It's looking so good already. I'm getting so excited. All right, now let's add the top part. There we go, add another loop, and then you already know what to do. We're going to end it with one nice big flower on the top. Wow, it's looking amazing, you guys, and we haven't even added the designs. Now, again, this is where we can get really crazy and add a lot of lines. So I'm adding a spiral line in the middle. There is no right or wrong way to decorate your flowers. Make it as unique as possible. Going in, I'm adding some semi-curves. Let's see, what will I do next? I'm going in with some, zigzags. How many lines can you think of to decorate the inside of your flowers? More zigzag, zigzag, and zigzag. Now I'm adding some straight lines, and it's looking so cool. I'm going to go in now and add some dots. We love dots, especially if you love dot day. Just make a mark and see where it takes you. Shout out to Peter Reynolds. Add dots everywhere. Go crazy with the dots. If you think of more lines, add more different style of lines. Make it, again, unique to how you want it. Her flowers on top of her head to look. Just keep going, just keep going. To me, the more lines, the merrier. Just keep going, going, going. Until you have your flowers looking the way you want them to look. Okay, now I'm adding my leaves around the flowers. And this is really going to make it pop. And you can add as many leaves as you want. Now I'm just going to go around and add some lines to the bottom of my headpiece. Again, this could be a headband or a braid. Once I finished that, I decided I want to add more emphasis on the eyebrows. So I'm going to go back and box out my shape so that our eyebrows will give a thicker appearance. Just like that. And there you have it. Go ahead and color. Once you get done coloring, if you want to make it pop out, you're going to cut out the shape. Once you cut out the shape, you're going to work on your background. Now, for my background, I start off with a cool color, and I'm doing some diagonal lines going across my paper. You also can talk about the difference between warm and cool colors with this project. Maybe you want to have them do black and green crayons and purples to make your line design. If you're watching this, get really creative. Now I'm going to go in using some watercolor paint. If you don't have paint, you can always use markers as well. I am going to go in with my yellow first. I'm doing warm colors for the background to really give it a pop. And then I'm just doing a nice overlay of yellow paint. And we're going to make it almost have a gradient ombre effect in the background. Now I'm just adding my red, and I'm going to do the same thing like I did to my yellow. I'm going to spread it all over. I am going to even run it a little bit into my yellow as well because I want to have a nice gradient ombre effect. And then, last but not least, I'm going to add my orange. And I'm really going to have a lot of fun with my orange. So I'm going to add it in this section here. I'm also just going to kind of spread my orange really, honestly, all over. Until it has the look that I'm going for my background. Then glue or tape your Frida onto your background. And there you have it, your Frida. Hope you all enjoyed this. Stay tuned for more. See you soon.